Hey everybody, welcome back to Talk With Nia. I hope you guys had a really good holiday, but let's get right into it. So I want to start off with Crime Mob. Do y'all remember Crime Mob? Okay, Nuck If You Buck. All right, that's still my song to this day. Now, they did an interview and they talked about why they disappeared, okay? And they was mentioning how they went from, I think, $35 a show to $300 a show. It's 6 of them, they splitting that, and how they basically got robbed. And they said that their first manager was probably taking their money. They also talked about how they had a cease and desist, so they couldn't put out music, okay? They couldn't do anything, so they disappeared. Let me play you a clip of what they said.
We didn't have social media. We didn't have numbers. The labels really just kept us busy. Go here, perform, go back home.
How much were y'all making back then when Nuck If You Buck came out?
So we went from $50 a show to $300 a show.
So who was getting the money back then?
We don't know.
Our first manager.
Nobody.
I remember him.
We never knew exactly how much
He put us in the dough, though. I'm saying that. He put us in the dough.
Yeah.
So what happened was he was managing Scrappy, and they took the typical blueprint that everybody else take: get an artist, get a label deal, da-da-da-da. So that's what happened with us. We were signed to Scrappy. Scrappy didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. We're all artists learning everything, and we all got screwed. We didn't have our publishing.
In 2015,
we had a cease and desist for, 15 years?
But y'all couldn't perform?
We couldn't put out music.
That's crime.
We couldn't sign.
So this is crazy because I always wondered, like, what happened to them? Okay? Why didn't we get more bangers? Because Nuck If You Buck had everybody lit, okay? Everybody is still gets played to this day and will still get you lit. So it's a really, really sad story. Now let's move on to Beyonce, because it's out there. It's floating around. I don't know if this is a true thing or not, but it's floating around that Beyonce and Jay-Z are coming out with another album, and it's gonna be the third act in Renaissance. So we had talked about Renaissance being a act 1, act 2, and act 3. There was a rumor saying that act 2 was gonna be coming out around Christmas time. So I really want to see if that really holds true. But people are saying that Beyonce and Jay-Z gonna do an album, and that's gonna be act 3. People were saying, are the visuals act 2? I don't know. Are they 3 separate albums? So we just have to wait and see. Okay. Now let's move on to Ice Spice. So Ice Spice hopes to collaborate with Doja Cat in the next 3 years, and she says that Doja Cat's album, her Hot Pink album era, would make sense for her because she feels like that kind of vibe matches with her. Can you guys see Ice Spice and Doja Cat collaborating? Are you guys here for that? Okay, now we have to talk about Saweetie. So Saweetie's mixtape came out called The Single Life. I think it has 6 songs on there. So did y'all listen to that, number 1? Okay, and what did you think about it? Now, it came out that The Single Life is on pace to see 2K sales the first week, all right? And she put on Twitter that she'll be doing music videos for all the songs. She's ready to get back into it. I'm assuming she's ready to get back into music, get back into swinging things. And she's looking for directors, okay? Because she's trying to get these music videos out. Saweetie also addressed Vlad TV, because Vlad TV went on Twitter and said that she could have did 10 times her first week's sale if she did an interview with them, and said that her team declined them in the past when they requested an interview. Now Saweetie addressed it and said that she actually likes Vlad TV. She had some recordings of some of her favorite interviews from them, and they couldn't have reached out to her or her team because she doesn't recall declining anything from them. So people have been shading Saweetie because of the sales of her mixtape. People have been shading Saweetie. We talked about it in a previous video. Joe Budden was talking about it was a bad time. Saweetie shut the F up, for her to put out the mixtape and everything with the pass and the takeoff. So Saweetie's been getting a lot of backlash and stuff like that. So I hope that throughout all of this, she continues to push through and she gives us like a single with an album attached to it, because remember, Saweetie hasn't put out her debut album yet, and she's been in the industry for a few years now, and she doesn't have an album out. She puts out like mixtapes and stuff like that and singles, but that's it. So we shall see if she has her album coming soon. Now, let's talk about Chris Brown. We've been talking about Chris Brown a lot lately with the whole AMA situation. Him supposed to perform there to do the Michael Jackson tribute. You know, apparently Sierra was supposed to do the performance with him. A lot of people felt like he should have been able to perform. People have been supporting him a lot. But a clip came out talking about the Grammys. So he exposed how he felt about the Grammys. I think this is an older clip. But he says that the Grammys are some BS and says that there are artists with an album that are like 10 years old and they could still be nominated in the same category as an artist that has a current album out. Let me just play you what he said.
And they do a viewer's choice, I kill every year. So you have some artists that had an album out 10 years ago that's nominated in the same category. Sometimes you be like, what are you doing? So your issue is the process. My issue is people not going off of how these billboards work.
Now, I wanted to throw this clip out there because we've been talking about the Grammys. Okay, we covered the whole Nicki Minaj situation with the Grammys and her not being nominated this year and the drama with that. And artists are really starting to come out about the Grammys even more. I did a separate video on, you know, the biggest snubs of the Grammys. So we talked about this if you're subscribed to the channel and you watch. So I just think it's very interesting as more celebrities continue to come out about this situation with the Grammys. Now let's move on to Chloe Bailey, okay? So Chloe says that she cuts an average of 2 to 3 songs every night and has 3 albums worth of material. Now Chloe, are you throwing shade? Are you saying, hey, I need to release my album because I record 2 to 3 songs every night? I got 3 albums worth of material and I can't even drop my first one? I wonder what's going on behind the scenes at her label. I would love to be a fly on the wall because she has got to be upset. Now let's move on, all right? I want to talk about Glorilla really quick. So Glorilla opens up about her scariest performance that she's ever done. And she said it was actually at the BET Awards, all right? She had like 3 days to learn the choreography and everything like that. She also talked about wanting to collaborate with Beyonce. She idolizes Beyonce, okay? And how her and Cardi B ended up working together, how all of that happened with the Tomorrow 2 song, and said that she didn't think Tomorrow 2 was actually going to go as viral as it did. So let me play a little bit of what she said.
The performance I can't believe I did was the BET Awards. It was crazy because I actually had to learn the routine and make sure I did it right. And we had learned that routine in 3 days. Then it was a different crowd. Like it was a lot of celebrities. Like I never had no crowds. I was scared when I did that one, I ain't gonna lie. My 2 dream collabs are Chief Keef and Beyonce.
So congratulations to Glorilla because she's been doing a lot. She's been hitting a lot of milestones. Her EP is out, okay? She's been doing a lot. She's Grammy nominated. And she recently got iced out again by Yo Gotti, okay, with a new chain, all right? So Glorilla is doing her thing. Now I wanted to wrap this up with Kanye West. So Kanye West drops his presidential campaign for him to run for president in 2024 and opens up the video with Vivica Fox saying that he needs to be canceled and people need to hit him where it hurts, which is his pockets. Okay, let me play you the video.
Yo, Kanye, F you, and I mean that with everything inside of me. We've got to cancel him, and I know we do not try to be in a cancel culture. We got to hit him in his pockets now because he obviously does not care about the African American culture.
So Kanye is running for president again. I am like, oh my gosh, Kanye, just don't let up. All right. Are y'all going to be voting for Kanye West for president? Let me know what you think. But that is all I have for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.